So on that line here and now, so great to see. And of course the championship decided in that earlier race with Sown Frost, now out to a greater than 50-point margin. So hearty congrats to him. And Spider's been looking at those overall results. In fact, 63 points it went out to. So a handsome margin there indeed. Away we go with another great start in our Protector Insurance Superbike and the Super Stock class. Super Stock, exactly as the name suggests, stock bikes without any of the modifications allowed for under Superbike racing. So Super Stock, and Dylan Telford, unfortunately some problems in the last one, but was leading Toby Summers, but Toby having that overall points command. We've got Dan Nicholson in there as well on the Septic Tank Services, Total Trees, Taupo and his lovely wife as well, supporting him out in there. So he's another young comer. Hit his first Pyro just 2 weeks ago as well. So well done to Dan, known him for a long time, all round nice guy as well. Dan Nicholson loving it out there in Super Stock class racing. So here we go. Oh, just overdoes it there a little bit. It's the Scott Moyer show. So Scott Moyer did this last time. Now we're going to see that, of course, the unassailable points lead of Sloan Frost, whether he wants to have a go for the TT title. He didn't come out for the glory of the Robert Holden during the Suzuki Series after he'd already won the main class. So it'd be interesting to know whether he pushes the advantage and tries to go for the big one. But it is the number 7, Scott Moy out in front. There we go, number 2, I think it's going to be the 43. Check that 43. I think it might have been, yes it was, Al Hugenbooth. No, Tony Rees, Al Hugenbooth, and they have changed. They've changed. That was Alistair, and then we've gone back to Tony. So we're keen to look out for the 2 red bikes out there, both on the Honda CBR 1000Rs. So Suzuki, Honda and Honda for the manufacturer's update of our Super 4 Protector Insurance Superbike, Super Stock Racing, and all on here at the moment for this TT title. And Sloan Frost looking to attack, but it's all on. It is the Scott Moyer show on the Penny Holmes Suzuki. Oh, change on the inside. Has he got it? Yeah, Sloan there. Sloan Frost on the Fujitsu Red Baron Suzuki, and he's got the advantage. And there goes Scott Moyer. Scott, look at him, maybe trying to go up on the inside. Can he do it? No, still there with Sloan. Sloan Frost, Scott Moyer, Tony Rees, Al Hugenboozem, and John Ross look to be our top 5 update. Spider away to a good start. Sloan Frost, but already that man is going for it because I think he's got the title, so he wants the TT as well.
Well, yeah, I'm always interested in the points here as well. We've got 1 point separating Andrew Stroud in second spot. He's on Sunset 4, and Johnny Ross there on 163 right now. Andrew Stroud's up the sharp end of the field. In fact, we go and look at the timing screen, and Andrew Stroud's in 5th place, and Johnny Ross is in 8th place. So if Andrew Stroud finishes here, but I've got the idea that Andrew Stroud's going to do what he did yesterday, was in about 6th or 7th place, and very, very quickly worked his way through the field and got out in the front. He got a bit of a break. The other boys reeled him in, but he got his 2nd New Zealand Superbike Championship race win this season. That's not bad for him. That's pretty damn exceptional for a guy that's been out of the sport at the Superbike level for 4 years. But right now, that breakaway group of 5 bikes, Andrew Stroud's on the tail of that. We go back further down, and Toby Summers unfortunately had a pit lane start, so Toby taking on the tail end of the field. He's posted up as being the fastest lap so far, but I think that'll be a trick of the timing due to the fact that he started from pit lane. But it is Sloan Frost opening up a bit of a buffer. He's probably got 15 bike lengths. Scotty Moyer's sitting there in a good solid 2nd place, and we go back, I think that's Al Hugenboozem there in 3rd place. It'll be Tony Rees in 4th place, and Andrew Stroud. They go out of sight and come into the Hamilton Ashfields corner. No changes there at all in the top 5 there. We look out, I think that's Jake Lewis there in 6th spot. He was running Super Stock down at the Ruapuna round, then he elected to go to Superbike. There was a bit of discussion about the legalities of the exhaust system. They can't cut the muffler off. They can replace the muffler on Super Stock, but they can't on the GSX R1000s because it's a one-piece system. So there was a bit of a curiosity. There goes Andrew Stroud up into 4th place. He's shunted Tony Rees back into 5th place. That's Johnny Ross there maybe that's Johnny Ross there in 6th. We'll have to wait till they come round. The beautiful presented BMW had a clean set of not wins this year, finishes, and that is James Hugenboozem on the 85 machine running Bridgestones. The only man out there running Bridgestones in the field. But Chopper Frost opens up the lead in this 15-lap New Zealand Superbike TT, a race that's been running around, I think, since it started in 1930 in Waiheke Island. If you won the New Zealand TT, you were allowed to go and supported to go to the Isle of Man TT. That's the prestige of this trophy. And way back then in 1930, it was run on a half road and half gravel circuit around Waiheke Island. And I think it's been held pretty much by the Auckland Club pretty well all the way through its life at a various different tracks and that. We had it at Pukekohe for a lot of years, and of course out in some of the other ones like Ardmore, so a very prestigious trophy. And of course Sloane Frost doesn't need the points here. He is the new Superbike champion. He's got 34 plus 27 points over and above second place, so he was crowned last time round. It's all about Andrew Stroud. Andrew Stroud, I think currently, yeah, there's the lanky man in fourth place. He's got a bit of work to do to reel in third place. I don't think he's going to catch Sloane Frost. It is a 15-lap race, and we've got 11 laps to go, so not quite a third of the way through the thing. Honda in second place. Honda's gone through. Number 43, Alistair Hoogenboozem's gone through. One of the three Hoogenboozem's racing here this weekend. We've got Brother James there on the 85 BMW. We've got Matthew Hoogenboozem in the on the number 4 bike. Imagine using that name in Scrabble. How many points would you get for that? But I don't think you can use names in Scrabble.
Well, great performance out there by Al Hoogenboozem. Come on, our Canterbury supporters. Fantastic show there. This man making a big race count here today. The TT title, much improved performance. He was earlier at the race. He was back in fourth place. He's quickly got to second. Did some amazing overtaking to get around the outside of Sloane Frost just a lap ago. So really pushing the advantage on that Triple R Racing Honda CBR 1000 RRSP. So lovely work out there, Alistair. Nice to see Al Hoogenboozem, folks. 43 out there on the Honda. And starting to make some ground, it would appear, by Sloane, or on the other hand, Sloane just doing enough to be out in front, doesn't have to push the advantage as he holds on to a good lead at the moment. Sloane Frost, your race leader, then go to Al Hoogenboozem, then go to Scott Moyer. Now looking at Andrew Stroud, who's also now just gone past Tony Rees, so Tony from third place, he's gone back to fifth. Has his son Mitchell, of course, having his New Zealand Superbike road race debut performance out there at the moment. And absolutely superb 12th place there at the moment. He's got Brendan Code and Toby Summers behind him. Unsure as to why Toby's a little bit further back on that super stock bike, but I think at the moment, without a Dylan Telford in there, and Dylan further up, without a Dan Nicholson in there, we've actually got a reasonable advantage. So there we go with Toby, a long way back for some reason, so not the right start, not unsure. The bike looks fine, he looks fine, but it's just the distance from him to the rest of the field. So something up with Toby, but more importantly, here we are looking for our bike battle down into Toyo tyres for another awesome lap update as we check out our Protector Insurance Superbike race and the big battle on at the moment. Look at the margin, first to second, no way is it the cruise it was. 2 laps to go for Sloane Frost, so here we go. Hoogenboozem, and then looking out to Scott Moyer. Scott looking to go up on the inside of Hoogenboozem, no, won't get through there at the moment. So great racing, of course, as all this goes on. Look out for Andrew Stroud. Andrew in fourth place. He's putting the pressure on the others. That's what's driving them closer together. And Tony Rees with the best seat in the house. The best seat in the house is Tony Rees has watched them from back there in fifth place. Look at this group. You will catch them through the blind spot, and then they'll come out at Pepsi Max at the moment. Are you ready for the update? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's as quick as they are as we watch out for it. Sloane Frost in front. Al Hoogenboozem. Come on, Canterbury supporters, with Scott Moyer, the Taupo man, in there from Andrew Stroud, and Tony Rees, 2 Hondas and the 3 Suzukis all on out there, Spider. But Sloane Frost, 2 laps ago, just looked to be cruising. Now under some real pressure. What a race from Al Hoogie at the moment.
Yeah, well, the 600cc title hasn't been decided in New Zealand, so still Alistair Hoogenboozem is the current 600 champion. And he almost dominated the class last year, and it's shown that now he's got the grip for this Honda. They've had a few mechanical issues, but now I'm almost picking him to get through there and get a win. But I tell you what, looking in there right now, there's Scotty Moyer on the number 7 bike. So quick last lap, we had a 104.2 for Sloane Frost. Al Hoogenboozem on a 104.5 and a 105.46 for Scotty Moyer, 105.2 for Andrew Stroud. So I think Andrew Stroud's going to settle for fourth place at the moment, unless something dramatic's going on, because he can't seem to be making up the time. But we look over to that Pepsi Max corner, and Sloane's got a bit of a break as Alistair Hoogenboozem pulls a wheelie up there. Moyer is closed right up on Alistair Hoogenboozem, so it's Suzuki, Honda, Suzuki. Bit of a slip and slide there for Moyer. He lost a bit of ground there. Andrew Stroud would have seen that, and Tony Rees would have possibly seen that off in the distance. We go back down to Jacob Lewis on the 29 machine, and also in behind him it is Johnny Ross from Canterbury A good solid standing there for Dylan Telford. Unfortunately, had a clutch failure in the last race. They borrowed a clutch off Rob Whittle. Thank you, Rob Whittle. And they're back out there. So action aplenty. 7 laps. Just over half race distance. It's a 15-lap race. We've got 7 laps. In fact, that'll be 6 laps to go after that. I'll just check the timing screen again. Indeed, it is 6 laps to go. So can we see a Honda win a Superbike Championship race? We've seen James Smith last season or 2 seasons ago have a win in the Superbike class, and fortunately James not here. Hope you're watching from the live timing at home, or hopefully you've gone down to the March Hare Rally. The Waimate Motorcycle Club is one of the strong financial supporters behind James Smith, and he did remind me at Timaru to mention that, and unfortunately I forgot that. Apologies, James Smith. But James, it would be nice to see you up here on the Honda giving some death. Oh, I tell you what, that flames coming out every lap of that back of that bike from John Ross. So I hope those photographers will get the flames coming out of John Ross as the unburnt fuel burns off outside the exhaust pipe, gobbling up the emissions. Sloane's broken away there. Sloane's broken away. In fact, there's about 120 metres between first and second, and a similar gap between second and third. We go back a little bit further to Andrew Stout and Tony Rees, so it has spread out quite a bit. Lewis has broken away from John Ross. They were neck and neck coming out of that dipper there, but now there's about 100 metres between them, Neil.
Counted on to before, less than 5 seconds to separate those top 5 riders, although the gap is slightly widened in each of their favours. I'll tell you what, we've also got the race pace on for the Bessem. Interestingly enough to know that Sloane with the fastest time out there, and putting it all together in a nice 104.0, so right down to that narrowest of times. Good to watch. So there you go, Sloane through the corner. Al Hoogie, lovers cornering. Beautiful corner by Alistair. Made up some ground through there, definitely. Round through the barrel roll, the corkscrew, call it what you like, the dipper. It is beautiful to watch, and look at that from Al. There's the performance difference. Look at that on the Toyo Tyres corner now, and look at that man in second place. Come on, the Triple R race team. This Honda High Flyer putting together an amazing motor at the moment, so well done out there. There's your race leader. There he goes. Sloane Prosper. Then go to Al Hugenbridge. Oh! And Scott Moyer. Blowing engine. And it's all over for Scott. He's put his hand up. He knows something's wrong. Too much smoke coming out there. We presume some oil, although it does appear all to be coming out the exhaust. The good news is he was aware of it, and you'll now see Scott Moyer pulling out of the race. That will put paid to a chance of glory, but hopefully still to end up in 3rd place in the championship. So Scott out of the 5-bike race. Oh, smell it. Absolutely smell it. Oh, is that a smell or what? So we've lost.
I think that's Tony Brown's breakfast.
Oh, hey. Well, it was a cracker if it was. All right, there you go. There's your bike battle. Then the gap now, looking down through there. And look at that. And Andrew, something wrong with Andrew. Andrew, look at that. He's just almost pulling over. I wonder if he thinks that smell's coming from his bike. Does he think something's wrong with his own bike? Maybe he does. Unsure of that. So, but there you go. I think we've got Tony might have got up into 3rd place. So here's your fight for the lead. Fight for the lead coming on there at the moment. So there you go. Sloane Frost, Al Hugenboosen. That's 1st and 2nd. No more of the big bike battle now. As we go to, there it is, no Andrew. That is fine. That is fine. So no Andrew, no worries. Miscalled before. So that was Scott who was pulling up. I think Scott still carrying on round there as he pulled over on that incline. I'd got the idea he would have been well off the track. I mean, I glimpsed down at the blue and white bike. Just thought that might have been him. And I think he's... well, no, he hasn't gone over onto that infield either, so unsure as to where he's pulled out, but more importantly, not in the race at the moment with the chance to be spitting out that much oil. Nice to see that he's not on the racetrack, but there it is on the Fujitsu Red Baron Suzuki GSX-R 1000, and the flying performance of Sloane Frost out there, and the Honda trying to match him. 43, the ride of the championship from this young man from Christchurch, Al Hugenboosum, on the Clive Barrington Construction Alpine Star Bell RK Triple R race team on the Honda, and I hope the team give them a big high five after this one. An outstanding ride coming from Alistair Hugenboosum. Go Canterbury, and there it is. Wellington out in front, Canterbury in 2nd. No, not the Aucklanders to fire here in our Predictor Insurance Superbikes as we go to Hamilton's Andrew Stroud, Whakatani's Tony Rees in our big 4. But Spider, what are we looking like for the points?
Right now it is Andrew Stroud in 2nd. John Ross is a bit further down there in about 67th place. So with Andrew Stroud in 3rd place, he's 1 point ahead going into this race. He will get 7 second in the New Zealand Championships. Now, the last race, what happened in the warm-up lap, Andrew Stroud pulled into the pit lane, went all the way through and started from pit lane. I went up and caught up with his son Jacob and said, what went on there? And he said, oh, they put the cones out. The grid was already set up, so the marshals directed him into there. So that's a bit of a disappointment, but never mind. It still didn't cost him any placings in the New Zealand Championship. Having a look at the lap times, just 2 laps to go. We should see the white flag out now. And the top 2 guys set their fastest lap in lap 10 of this 15-lap race. They weren't dicing each other, but I don't know. What did we have in the last lap? We had 9.54 seconds between 0.954 between the 2 bikes. I think that's opened a little bit up. It's the screen's not refreshing. The screen needs refreshing. No, doesn't matter. It is definitely Sloane Frost has opened up the lead. The white flag it out. It is the final lap. Andrew Stroud sits there in a good, solid 3rd place. The bikes are coming through, I think, turn 3. Yes, I can see a Suzuki and Honda through there. They're just about out of sight of the Pepsi Max corner. And it will be. There it is, Sloane Frost coming out there. Look at the amount. James Hugenbosom has closed up there in the last, Al Hugenbosom on the 43 bike. They're coming across the ladder. Could this be a win for Honda? There's 3 to 4 bike lengths in it. They're coming up. The back marker's not in the way. It's just the big middleman corner. Sloane opens up that gap a little bit more. It's going to be a hard call for Alistair Hugenbosom. That's still something in it. He gets a drive out of the corner. Sloane Frost on the TSS Red Baron machine, the New Zealand Superbike champion. I'm not sure, but no, I just think it is. It is Sloane Frost. But wow, what a race finish. He nods his head for Alistair Hugenbosom. He takes it into turn 1 first. It's a shame he couldn't have done that at turn or 2 thing. There's Andrew Stroud at a good solid 3rd place. Tony Rees, 48 years old, on the number 11 machine, takes 4th place. Jake Lewis there. John Ross goes through on the circuit asphalts, TSXR 1000 Suzuki. Dylan Telford lost the end of his finger last weekend somewhere else at another racetrack. He goes through there. And I'll tell you what too, it'll be a New Zealand Championship title for Toby Summers when he crosses the line there, because he would have finished, I think, 3rd after a pit lane start. Alistair Hugenbosom, the fastest man in that race, the fastest lap on lap 15. Oh, so close. If he could have pulled another lap out of there like that, he may have won that title of the New Zealand Superbike TT. Alistair Hugenbosom, that's got to be the ride of the season this season for you. Congratulations. So, where are we going? Jake Lewis, John Ross, Dylan Telford, the first of the Superstocks. Christopher Forey on the 40 machine here in 2nd place in Superstocks. Ray Clee, we haven't even mentioned him the whole race. That's how action-packed it's been out the